Today we are packing for the Disney Marathon. The bag I will be taking is my Cotopaxi Alpha 35. I am obsessed with this bag. This was kind of an impulse purchase. I have wanted a Cotopaxi bag for a really long time. I was in Nashville one weekend, saw there was an REI store, and so I walked in and this little guy was just sitting there and there were only 2 left. I understand I could have gotten one off the website, but I also have a problem with patience. First, I've got my mini ears. I'm honestly, feels very weird to say, but I'm not a big, are these backwards? Yes, they are. I feel like they make me look less like an egg. I've also got my bib boards and some hot hands. So it's supposed to be cold the morning of the marathon, and you have to wait in the corral for quite a long time, especially if you're in the last corral, which I likely will be. You have to find ways to not only entertain yourself, but also to stay warm. So I'll show you the bib boards that I have. I'm also an ambassador for bib boards, although this video is not sponsored, not famous enough for that. These are great. I have not used safety pins for a race in a really long time, and I really like that these don't damage my clothes at all and they hold my bib perfectly in place. I've never had an issue with them slipping. So here are the ones that I have. I've got this one that says running. Sometimes we all need a little motivation. It's a little Jurassic Park themed bib board. This one is the Detroit 26.2. Half of it is the United States, the other half is Canada because it does go into Canada and then come back into Detroit. This one just says run happy. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I was recently selected as an ambassador for the Brooks Running Collective. Brooks is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, running gear companies, and a lot of their gear says run happy. So this is pretty cool. This is not a Brooks bib board, but I just think it's a cool coincidence. Now, bib boards also offers custom bib snaps. So this is a picture of my friends and me. These are the ones I'm doing the races with, and we just happen to have also gone to Universal Studios together and gotten a picture. So we use that for our bib board, so we all have one. And then I've got this one that says run like it's almost midnight. It's a Cinderella themed one. And then we've just got hot hands, so these warm up on their own when you take them out of the package. I use these in the clinic a lot, actually. I get really cold at my job, so these are very helpful. Now, another thing I have packed in here is my Thersipo charm. So I'll show you here. I'll get my Garmin right now, otherwise I'll forget. I recently treated myself to the Garmin Forerunner 965. I love her. On there, I've got a band from Thersipo. So it's got charms for the major races I've done. So we've got one for the Indianapolis half, we have Detroit full, we have Disney half, and we have Brooklyn half. So I've done a couple of other half marathons, but smaller towns, so they don't have those charms yet. But I did go ahead and buy, which I know this is kind of tempting superstition, I did go ahead and purchase the Disney full charm. So I'm gonna take it with me. I'm gonna put it on my watch if I finish. If I don't finish, then maybe this will be a gift to one of my friends who does. I've got some gear in here to put fake nails on. I've got some Disney themed nails that I got from Etsy. Oh, here they are. I will link the Etsy creator down below. My camera needs to stop tracking me. Why are you obsessed with me? Disney themed nails. I don't know yet if I'm gonna run with them. I think that would be super cute, but I do think it'll make it tough to get like my fuel out and like rip open gels and such, and I really don't want to be struggling to like rip nails off during the race. So I'm gonna try not to do anything new on race day, even though I am pretty bad about doing that. We'll see. It'll be a choose your own adventure. I've got 2 pair of sunglasses that I'm taking with me, one to run, one just for casual everyday. I've got these sunglasses that my best friend that I work with actually gave to me. They were hers, and then I ended up borrowing them for a costume in clinic, and then she told me she never really wears them. So I now have a new pair of Ray-Bans, and I love them. I love how they look on me. And then I've got my Gooder sunglasses, which I always run my races in Gooders. I've got these light pink ones. I also have light green ones and these really pretty Carolina blue ones, but I do think the pink is gonna match my outfit choice the best. So I'm going to take the pink, and they're pretty lightweight, so I think they'll be easy to throw into a pocket or my vest if I'm not in the mood to wear them or if I don't need them. But I'm also taking these croquis, which I guess is not a term that like is universally known. All the like frat guys and gals and all the rest of us at Carolina always had croquis, and we would have like croquis for like the student ambassador group that I was in and stuff, and just like themed ones. So anyways, they're the strap that keep your sunglasses on you, so they work really well during my races, so I'm gonna take that as well. No Gooder code yet, but Gooder, if you're watching, hit a girl up. This is my toiletries bag. I got this from REI as well. It's REI brand. I'll show you how this opens up. I really like how compact it is. Now it is a bit thicker than I thought it was gonna be. Obviously when it's not full, it's very flat. I've got this girl stuffed pretty much as I can. So I've got all my liquids in here. This bottom compartment does detach. There's a zipper that helps you take it off in case TSA needs you to. In this middle pocket, I've got like my razor, my glitter freckles, a couple other race day tattoos. And then up here, I've got a hairbrush, deodorant, a lot of my solids that even if they were to like break or leak, the mesh won't make it so that the product like gets out into my clothes. Everything that's liquid and a risk is in this zipper pocket. You can use this here to hang it somewhere, which is really nice when you're sharing space with other people, and then you just roll her up, slide the tab through, you're good to go. I just love this color. Clearly. Here's what it looks like from the side. Here's the back. Nothing too special. No outside pockets or anything, but I kind of love that. It does seem water resistant to me. Obviously, it's not fully waterproof because you've got the mesh in here and everything's open from the sides, but really nice pack here. Got the shoe bag. For my recovery sandals, I am taking these Lululemon slides. They're not like official recovery shoes like the UFOs or the Hokas. I do have some Crocs somewhere that are really soft and squishy, but they're a hair too big, so I always feel like my foot muscles are working harder than they need to when I wear them. So these are pretty comfy. Never tried them after a long race, but I can't imagine that they would fail me. And I won't have them on for long either. You just wear them after you get your bag from Gear Check. We're usually sitting on the ground eating the snacks that we get after the race, and then we're gonna get on a bus, go back to the hotel anyway, so not a big deal. And then I also feel good about wearing these throughout the weekend when I'm not wearing sneakers, on the beach, etc. So I think these will be a nice pair of versatile sandals. Slip this guy in here. I was charging my Garmin. Let's see how much it's charged. 92%. OMG, it's gonna die. I packed this Scrubba portable washing machine. It's just a bag that has ridges on the inside of it. You put your dirty clothes in there, you put in a little bit of soap, and then you close it up and you kind of like back and forth, and it helps wash your clothes, and then you just hang them up to dry. I'm trying to take as few items of clothing as I can, so I thought about packing this so that I could wash the clothing and rewear it. I do think I'll take it with me. I don't know, like our Airbnb does have a washing machine and dryer, but then the other 4 days that I'm spending in Orlando, I don't know what access we're gonna have, so this does seem to take a little bit more space than I would want it to, but still very flat. Probably worth taking and not worth the risk of leaving behind. Also in that bag, I've got my running vest. This is the Salomon Advanced Skin 12. I think that's what the ADV stands for. It's a great vest. I love this guy. I mean, it was pricey, so I'm glad I love it. Now, my only hesitation about wearing a vest is that lately when I've been wearing it, I have been tending to overheat, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's very cold outside, and when I was wearing it in the summer, I was totally fine. So maybe it's more about the clothing that I'm wearing under the vest rather than the vest itself. It's got a big pocket back here for a water flask. I've never really used that. I don't like the water sloshing around on my back, and I'm not even sure if those are allowed at Disney. They might be, but there is a smaller pocket back here as well where you can quickly store some things, so maybe gels, headphones, things like that. This also comes with 2 soft flasks, which I really love because as you drink out of them, they get smaller and smaller, they take up less space, and then I also will typically take those out, put them in the back of the vest, and then not have to worry about them if I'm not refilling them. But yeah, I really like this guy. Ton of pockets, lots of storage space, and very snug on the body, which is how your running vest should be. I always feel like such a legit runner when I've got this vest on. I've also got a few extra Ziploc bags, put snacks in. These are emergency blankets. You really can't see them, but they're gold emergency blankets, the foil kind. These are a lifesaver. I've had them at the other 2 Disney races I've done. I've taken them to other races. This makes it so that I don't have to have a ton of layers on. I can just throw this blanket over me and that keeps me warm at the start line. So I really love these. They're pretty lightweight. I've got 2 packed in case my roommate who's coming to support us needs one. What's in this fun pouch? Oh, some more cold weather accessories. What are they, you might ask? I have $5 men's beanie from Lowe's, Kleenex, which are probably my #1 item that I take on a race. Like, that is the most frustrating thing, is when you have a runny nose or sticky hands. More than anything, more than water, more than gels, I have always wanted Kleenex, so definitely packing my own. I've got my Gym Boss timer. This timer is lovely for intervals. I can do intervals on my watch, but as far as I can tell with the Garmin, once you start a run with the intervals, you can't go back and change the intervals or go out of interval mode. And I saw a pacer at the Indy half actually run into that issue where she wanted to change the intervals that we were running at, and then that caused issues, caused us to slow down, and then she had to download an interval timer on her phone. Kind of a big mess. So I've got this. It's an external one. I'll just clip it onto my vest. It vibrates and makes sound, and you can adjust like the intensity of the vibration and the sound, or turn one or the other off entirely. I've got this buff that I got for free at the Detroit Marathon. I'm gonna wear this around my neck and then I can pull it up over my face. I like this more than like a balaclava or something because this is lighter weight. I can just wrap this around my wrist to like save space, whereas a balaclava is a little bit more fabric, a little bit more cumbersome. Towel also from the Indy half. I had a smaller towel from REI that I loved. It was my absolute favorite. I don't know where it is, but it was so good for wiping sweat. This is the same material, it's just twice the size, so I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna cut this guy in half. The other one that I had also had a little loop. It was from REI. I didn't end up buying another one when I was there because I thought I had mine. Throwaway gloves. A bow for the marathon. I got this on Etsy as well. I'm gonna try to secure this to my hijab or the back of my hat somehow, but I just think it's so cute. I love that it's marathon themed, and then this can be a little souvenir for me as well. Calf compression sleeves. I've used these at a couple races and they have really greatly helped me with my foot pain that I get sometimes. I can't even pretend as a PT to know the exact science or physiology behind that, but I love them. They help me a lot, so they're going with me. Should be all of my cold weather accessories in one bag there. Got a little baggie of medicines that I used at the Indy half. I just kept them in the bag. We've got Advil Tylenol combo, Pepsid, which helps me a lot with any stomach pains. I tend to get them a lot if I go too long without eating, so those are super helpful. A couple of salt tabs. I think they're kind of gross. I've only tried them once, but they do help with hydration and the whole electrolyte game. Another couple Advil. I have an extra little tote bag. I bought this before the Wine and Dine half marathon at the airport. It's got a larger tote bag inside of it that opens up to like a full-size tote that I can put my bib in, any merch that I get at the expo, and then I can also keep this for the flight back in case I buy anything extra and don't have space in my book bag. I am really trying to pack as light as humanly possible in here. It probably doesn't seem that way based on the video so far. We haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes of everything, but this is there just in case. Little hand sanitizers. Again, I hate having stuff on my hands during the race, and some of those gels can get really sticky, so I take a couple of these little personal hand sanitizer containers with me. They're very lightweight. You just crack them open with one hand and then they're very easy to dispose of as well. This guy has a lot of my fuel in it. I'm not going to unpack the entire thing because I don't want to have to pack it again, but we've got pickle juice. Really good for muscle cramps. I took this during the Detroit Marathon. Loved it. I've got a bunch of packets of Element in here. I haven't decided how much Element I'm actually going to run with, but these will be really good for just hydration throughout the week leading up to the marathon. I've also got my favorite form of fuel in here, which are, drum roll please, these Cliff Blocks, the sours. Which one's this? Green apple? Yeah, green apple, energy chews. It's not often that you can find something that's like gel base like this that doesn't have gelatin in it. This is awesome because it meets my dietary requirements, and they also taste really good. They're really the only form of official race fuel that I think actually tastes good and doesn't make me want to gag while running. So love Cliff Blocks. I've got some liquid IV in here, and then I've got some gels, some Scratch energy chews, and really that's it. I don't know if this is going to be enough fuel. Like at this point when I started packing the fuel is when I started to get a little bit like, I'm tired of packing, let's just throw whatever, which is unfortunate because this is definitely probably the most important part, but I do think it's enough. Worst case, if I'm starting to get nervous, I can get some more fuel at the expo. Obviously you don't want to rely on that because you don't know what they're going to have at the expo and if they'll have what you've been training with. I can only get the chocolate outrage goo down. I can't eat any of the other goos. I find them kind of gross. I'm using compression packing cubes. I'll show you what we've got in here. Oh, here we go. Here's another bag of fuel. I've got a bunch of applesauces in here. I love applesauce. Actually, I do love Cliff Block, but I take back what I said about it being my favorite fuel. Straight up applesauce is my absolute favorite fuel. Take it every 30 minutes and I feel really good when I'm taking those. I have this Disney themed marathoner tank from Sarah Marie Running Company. I have a code for y'all for that as well. I think the code is just YUSRA, YUSRA. If it's any different than that, I'll put it in the description, but all my codes will be in the description anyway. Again, this kind of feels like tempting the superstition whatever, but I really like it and I want to wear it. So plus, when else am I gonna wear it, you know? I'm packing just some casual pants. These are super lightweight, so they're perfect for the beach, but also to go out to eat. I'm packing this like slightly dressier shirt so that when we go out to our carb loading pasta dinner the night before the race, it can look cute. And I've also just got a simple white tee. It's literally just a white t-shirt. As I'm going through these, I'm trying to decide what I want to keep and what to leave at home, but that was only like 4 pieces of clothing and I really like all of them. If you are looking to pack for a race slash a Disney race, I do have a packing list with all the essentials up on my blog. I will post that in the description below as well. That really helps me. I also have a more detailed packing list, so I will also share that down below. For my clothes, I'm just using the folding method, trying to fold everything to the shape of the packing cube. You can also roll your clothes. I've just found that this tends to help me, especially with the smaller packing cubes. Everything seems to just compress a little bit better when it's folded. I'm taking a few different hijabs. I've got shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not gonna undo this one because everything is packed in there quite tight. So just got one short sleeve shirt to sleep in and one pair of shorts to sleep in, and then I'm just going to wash everything and hope that that's good enough. I'm filming a YouTube video, the big boy. These packing cubes are from Travelon. I got them from TJ Maxx for a discount, and I think they work really well. I was looking into some of the pricier packing cubes, but I'm sure they're great. I don't feel like I am missing anything. I'm gonna show you what I am planning on wearing for race day. These leggings from Wolico. I think they're great. I mean, they're not necessarily the leggings I run in every day. I actually just run in a pair of cheap high-waisted Old Navy leggings called the Old Navy Power Soft, but I like these Wolico ones because I feel like they're a little bit more compressive, and the quality's a little better, so I'm not at all worried about anything ripping or like coming apart during the race. Rain jacket from REI that packs down pretty flat. I'm only gonna take this if I check the weather race morning and it like really does seem like it's gonna rain. I know that's probably a big risk for Florida because it just rains randomly, but I also don't want to have to carry this thing throughout the whole race. I don't know, that might be a lie. I might just take it and just suck it up. Now I can't really decide what top to wear, so I've got a pink top from On, a pink Swiftly Tech long sleeve from Lululemon, and then I also have a long sleeve from Bandit called their Micro Mesh. They are all very comfy. The thing with the Solomon vest, and maybe other vests as well, is that it does cause like pilling of the shirt. I really like all these shirts, especially the Bandit one, so I don't want that to pill. And it's a little bit big on me, so maybe this will be more of like a recovery shirt. And then I'll probably end up wearing, I don't know, the Swiftly Tech is a little bit more snug to my body and feels a little bit more like it moves with me, whereas the On shirt is lighter weight. So I don't know, I can't decide. I really feel like I should just pick one because I am trying to lighten up what I've packed, but it's only 2 race day options. so I'm just gonna keep it. And then I've also got some black flowy shorts. They have a pocket as well. That pocket is pretty loose, so I wouldn't put anything like my phone in there because it's just gonna come out or it's gonna cause the shorts to fall down a little bit. But those are just to help me be a little bit more modest and cover my butt. They work in the place of a tutu, which I've worn in past Disney races. I'm not gonna wear a tutu this time because it's a longer race. I don't like when things are pressing on my stomach throughout the race, which is also why I'm not gonna be wearing a belt. I added this little pouch. What's in here? Oh, it's got my headphones and my medications. That is important. I'm gonna leave that there because I want easy access to that on the strap. On the side of the bag, it's got these really cool zippers with these loops so that it's hard to just like quickly steal something. Obviously it's not totally thief proof, but this opens up into two pockets. You've got a smaller but still pretty sizable padded pocket here for like a Kindle, but my iPad actually fits in there as well, so I don't even need the bigger pocket here that would span the entire back of the backpack for like a laptop. This is also really well padded, so if you drop your bag, you don't have to worry about that stuff breaking in there. There's a hip belt and a sternum strap, so that should make it easier to carry. I know people travel with these for weeks at a time. They travel internationally, so if they can do that, I can certainly pack for 6 days at Disney in this one bag. Oh, a hat for running. I've got my Sprints hat. This is the only one that came close to matching my color palette for my race. So they do have a Sprints booth always at the expo, and I'm gonna try really hard not to buy one, but their hats are really great, so no promises. I think that's really it. Oh, okay, quick note about throwaway layers. So I had actually bought this as a throwaway layer. It was like 12 bucks at Aerie, but joke's on me, I actually really like it. It's very cozy and comfy, and I've been wearing it pretty much nonstop, so I'm gonna keep this, which means when I get to Orlando, I do probably need to make like a Walmart run and find some cheap hoodies to be able to get rid of. I didn't talk about the shoes that I'm going to be wearing and which socks, so because I know that's super important. So real quick on the gear that I'm wearing, because I don't actually want to unpack everything, I'm just going to show pictures here of the gear that I'm going to be wearing at this marathon. I have the Brooks Ghost Max that I wore for my half marathon in Brooklyn, which was really great, and then I have my Brooks Ghost 15, which is my go-to shoe that I know is super reliable. It's always comfortable and I'm not worried about that. For my socks, I am wearing the Balega Blister Resist socks. I found these at the Indy Monumental Expo. They ended up being so comfortable, like so comfortable. So I have them in the like quarter length and the crew length. I'll probably wear the crew just because they're a little cuter. They're all black, whereas my quarter ones have some like green and blue in them, so they don't really match. So, and then for my sports bra, I really like high support, high energy Lululemon sports bra. So I'll put a picture of that here. And I also have an Instagram reel of all of my favorite running gear in categories like my running pants, leggings, tops, sports bras, hijabs, etc. So all of that can be found in the links in the description below as well. And then all the other gear I think I showed you already. There's really nothing too fancy about it. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I haven't really been running very much at all. Yeah, I've been really terrible about my training these past basically like 6 weeks. But anywho, thanks for staying this long. The point of this video was to take things out, but instead I'm actually thinking of more things I want to add in, like some hair gel to help with the flyaway hairs as I'm running, and then I've got my Kindle sitting up on my desk as well, and I know I could read on my iPad, so maybe I shouldn't take it, but I don't want to take my iPad to the beach. We might need 2 bags after all. Anyways, if you're gonna be at the marathon, please do come up and say hi if you see me. I figure there's not a whole lot of hijabis around there, but thank you so much for watching. I know this was a really long one, but I am really excited. Thanks for helping me pack, and I will see y'all after the marathon. Bye!